Although people cannot travel back in time by hopping into a time machine, we do know that clocks on airplanes and satellites travel at a different speed than clocks on Earth. Here are time travels exist, are real, and here's why. By the way, make sure to click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all our engaging videos and use that trigger finger by smashing that like button. Now let's get into it.
To thank you for watching this video, we're offering you an absolutely free training webinar. Do you want to learn the secret of improving all aspects of your life and unlocking what you're really capable of? The legendary Bob Proctor spent over 57 years learning this one thing and is hosting a free webinar where he reveals what he's learned and what actually works. He'll teach you the law of compensation, a secret only the mega wealthy know of but not taught in our educational system, and the impression of increase, the law of laws that will increase areas in all aspects of your life, whether it be in health, relationships, or wealth. Right now, the first 200 people to use the link below will get access to this free webinar. Now, let's get back to the video.
We're all time travelers. For example, between birthdays, we travel 1 year through time. And we're all moving through time at about the same rate, 1 second per second. NASA's space telescopes also allow us to travel across time. Telescopes allow us to glimpse stars and galaxies that are millions of light years away. The light from remote galaxies take a long time to reach us, so when we use a telescope to peer up into the sky, we are witnessing what those stars and galaxies appeared like a long time ago. When we think of time travel, however, we normally think of traveling at a rate quicker than 1 second every second. That kind of time travel sounds like it belongs in a movie or a science fiction novel. Is it possible? Yes, according to science. Albert Einstein, a well-known scientist, proposed a theory about how time works more than a century ago. It was dubbed relativity by him. According to his view, time and space are inexorably intertwined. Einstein also stated that nothing can go faster than the speed of light in our cosmos, 186,000 miles per second. What does this imply for the future of time travel? As a result, the faster you go, the slower you feel time. According to this notion, scientists have conducted tests to demonstrate that this is correct. For example, in one experiment, 2 clocks set at the exact same time were utilized. One clock remained on the ground while the other took off aboard a plane, going in the same direction Earth rotates. Scientists compared the 2 clocks after the plane went around the world. The clock aboard the fast-moving plane was a few minutes behind the ground clock. As a result, the plane's clock was ticking at a slower rate than 1 second each second. We won't be able to travel hundreds of years into the past or future via a time machine. That type of time travel is only found in fiction and films. However, the mathematics of time travel has an impact on the objects we use every day. We utilize GPS satellites, for example, to assist us to figure out how to go to new places. To learn more about how GPS satellites work, watch our video. NASA scientists also use a high-precision version of GPS to track the location of satellites in space. Did you realize, though, that GPS relies on time travel estimates to assist you in getting around town? At around 8,700 miles, 14,000 kilometers per hour, GPS satellites orbit the Earth incredibly swiftly. GPS satellites' clocks are slowed by a fraction of a second as a result of this, similar to the airplane example above. The satellites, however, orbit Earth at a height of around 12,550 miles. This actually increases the speed of GPS satellite clocks by a fraction of a second. Here's how to do it. Isaac Newton endorsed the idea of absolute time centuries later. Although his contemporary Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz believed that time is merely a relation between events and that it cannot be expressed independently, the space-time of relativity was born from the latter method. According to Einstein's theory, gravity bends space and time, slowing the passage of time. The gravity of the Earth is substantially weaker higher up in the atmosphere, where the satellites orbit. The clocks on GPS satellites run faster than clocks on the ground as a result of this. As a result of the combined effects, the clocks on GPS satellites experience time at a somewhat quicker than 1 second per second rate. Fortunately, scientists can fix these time disparities using arithmetic. There could be major issues if scientists did not correct the GPS clocks. The GPS satellites would be unable to compute their or your position correctly. The inaccuracies would amount to a few miles every day, which would be significant. Your property may appear to be nowhere near where it truly is on GPS maps. Yes, time travel is a viable possibility, but it's not exactly like you've seen in the movies. It is possible to experience time passing at a rate other than 1 second per second under certain circumstances, and there are important reasons why we need to comprehend this type of time travel that occurs in the real world.
To thank you for watching this video, we're offering you an absolutely free training webinar. Have you ever wondered how to end procrastination and self-sabotage so you can unleash your full potential to live the life you deserve? #1 best-selling author and high-performance coach Peter Sage is hosting a free webinar where he'll teach you how to increase your wealth with less time and struggle, and also how to hyper-boost your growth and success so you can finally break out of any rut you find yourself in. Right now, Peter and his team are offering a free $100 gift to anyone who doesn't find his webinar as the best use of their time within the last 5 years. Now, let's get back to the video.
Certain experiments give the idea of reversed causation, but careful inspection reveals that this is not the case. In Marlon Scully's delayed choice quantum eraser experiment, pairs of entangled photons are separated into single photons and idler photons, with the signal photons originating from one of two locations and their position later measured as in the double-slit experiment. The experimenter can either learn which of the two sites the signal photon emerged from or delete that information depending on the idler photon is monitored. Even though the signal photons can be detected before the idler photons are chosen, the idler photons appear to determine whether or not an inference pattern is observed when the idler photons are correlated to the corresponding signal photons. However, because interference can only be observed after the idler photons have been measured and correlated with the signal photons, experimenters cannot predict which choice will be made in advance simply by looking at the signal photons, but only by gathering classical information from the entire system. Thus, causality is preserved. Lijian Wang's experiment, in which it was possible to send packages of waves through a bulb of calcium gas in such a way that the package appeared to exit the bulb 62 nanoseconds before it entered, may also demonstrate causality violation. But a wave package is not a single well-defined object, but rather a sum of multiple waves of different frequencies. Even though none of the pure waves in the sun move faster than light or even backwards in time, see for your analysis, the package can appear to move faster than light or even backwards in time. This effect cannot be used to send any matter, energy, or information faster than the speed of light. Hence, this experiment does not break causality. The University of Koblenz scientists Gunther Nimitz and Alfons Stoffhoven claim to have defied Einstein's theory of relativity by transporting photons faster than the speed of light. They claim to have used a phenomenon known as quantum turnability to conduct an experiment in which microwave photons passed instantaneously between a pair of prisms that have been relocated up to 3 feet apart. For the time being, this is the only violation of special relativity that I'm aware of, Nimitz told New Science magazine. Other physicists, on the other hand, claim that this phenomenon prevents information from being transported faster than light. Elsprime Steinberg is a writer who lives in New York City. The speed of the center of the train exceeds the speed of any of the individual cars, according to a quantum optics expert at the University of Toronto in Canada. Imagine a train traveling from Chicago to New York, but dropping off train cars at each station along the way, so that the center of the train moves forward at each stop. Many have said that the lack of future time travelers proves that such technology will never be produced, implying that it is impossible. This is similar to the Fermi conundrum, which concerns a lack of proof of extraterrestrial life. The absence of alien visitors does not indicate they do not exist, and the absence of time travelers does not prove time travel is physically impossible. It is possible that time travel is physically viable, but has never been developed or is only utilized with caution. Several experiments have been conducted in an attempt to persuade future humans who may develop time travel technology to return and exhibit it to people living in the present. Permanent advertisements of a meeting time and place for future time travelers were highly publicized at events like Perth's Destination Day or MIT's Time Traveler Convention. In 1982, the Chrononauts, an organization based in Baltimore, Maryland, conducted an event of this nature, welcoming visitors from the future. Some variants of the many worlds interpretation purpose that future humans have traveled back in time, but to a time and place in a parallel reality where they met. Do you believe us now? Let us know in the comments section below. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, please also don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel so we can continue giving you the best contents. Thank you so much for watching, and hey, we're going to see you in the next video.